Welcome everybody to Rooftop Talks. I'm your host, I'm Kiana Kettenring, and today we have a very special guest. We have the one, the only Hamilton Brown, owner of Fitzgerald Consulting Group, owner of Rooftop Talks. Welcome, Hamilton, to your show.
Wow, I love it.
We're finally getting started. We're here.
Yes.
It was in the plans, and now it's finally a reality.
It has been a long journey, that's for sure.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So let's tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah. Well, I just like to leave it at that intro and just keep everybody in mystery now. So my name is Hamilton Brown once again. I am the managing principal consultant of Fitzgerald Consulting Group, and we're a management consultant agency. So essentially what we do is we help small businesses scale in size and make sure that they have everything they need in terms of consultations on human resources, finances, operations, to make sure that they can achieve their dreams. Essentially what we want to do is retire the owner. We want the owner to truly just be an owner and not an owner-operator. That's our goal with our clients. And it's been great. It's been great. I've had an opportunity to really connect with some really dynamic people in my line of work.
Yeah, I love it. And that really helps Rooftop Talks because we have so many different places to collect resources, collect information,
Right.
and how to go about it. So what made you want to come up with Rooftop Talks after having a successful consulting business? So why the next step?
Yeah. So in my professional career, I probably, thousands of business owners in the span of 15 years, right? Mm-hmm. That I've worked with, that I've interacted with, that I've studied. And one of the things that I saw on a local small business level mm-hmm. is that anytime I would try to go help someone, I'd say, okay, I need to see your financial statements. I need to see your understand what your current key performance indicators are. Mm-hmm. I need to understand what credit lines and your financials, and it would always be a stumbling block in what I felt is the basics of understanding how to run your business. So it really stopped me from working with a lot of people. And what I realized is that all this information that I'm talking about is wildly available in terms of the SBA. There's grant-funded small business organizations. There's all kinds of people, nonprofits that are willing to help small business owners understand this information, and they do it for free.
Right.
But the problem is the information is siloed. So this organization is not talking to that organization and that organization, and they're not sharing best practices all the time. Yeah. And so it ends up being somewhat of, I just help the folks that come to me and that's that. What I wanted to do with Rooftop Talks is I wanted to bring all of those people, all of those community leaders, everybody into a one-stop shop where entrepreneurs can get business information, mm-hmm. they can get networking opportunities, they can get contracting opportunities, they can meet the people who are the decision makers in prospective public and private sector organizations, and I wanted them to just have more hope. It's tough being an entrepreneur, especially with what we're hearing going on, on a day-to-day basis. Right. So I want this show to be an opportunity where they can get information, they can make connections, they can be a part of a movement of helping the small business owner turn their small business into a corporation and to grow and help their prospective communities. So that's what brought us along.
And what I love most about what we're doing is that all this information is out there. All the information that we're providing is out there, but we're also putting it in a way we're making it make sense to people on all scales. So you could teach this to a middle schooler and they will be able to understand. I feel like a lot of times it's so overcomplicated, and I think that's what kind of turns people away from entrepreneurship, or at least scaling their business.
Yeah.
So I love that this is what you came up with, because that's something I know I needed when I first started doing business.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, where do you see Rooftop Talks going, and how do you plan on scaling it? And
Yeah.
just the future
No,
of it?
that's a great question. So my initial vision was to just create a show.
Okay.
So here we are. Woohoo!
We're here.
We made it. We made it, America. But so that was for you, Mom. So I just wanted to create a show. I wanted, and from the show, hopefully there's some entrepreneurs and there's people that are feeling the energy and like have said yes like 3 or 4 times out of something I've said or you've said, and they want to grow with us, right? So the goal is to create a community, right? Because relationships are truly the currency that helps propel entrepreneurs to the next level.
That's true.
I've talked to thousands of them, and typically what happens is they tell a story, and then all of a sudden, like, okay, year 1 you made 200, year 3 you made 300. Wait a minute, year 4 you made $1 million. What happened there?
Right.
And it's typically, oh, well, I got this contract, I got this deal, I changed this technology. All of that boils down to having the right relationships. And I want Rooftop Talks to do that. So that's why I have put together a team of phenomenal individuals, starting with Kiana.
Hey, everybody.
Woo! Yes, and so that's why I wanted you to be a part of the project, with your background in your experience in media and journalism, and also videography, and then just also if y'all haven't checked out her page, definitely check out her page because she is super creative, and that's what we need. We need someone to really bring the information to the people, and I that's why I was like, you'd be the perfect fit for that. So thank you for being a part of the show. And then we also have our videographer, our social media manager. He's a great guy. I call him Win. His friends call him Win because he wins.
I love that. His name is Win, but that was perfect.
Yes, because he wins, and he's been able to help with. He's very professional. Has really helped organize some of the social media reach that we need. So we're tapping into the algorithm to really, get this information out to people who really need it. Right? Sometimes it's not the information. Sometimes it's the transportation, right? Like, how are you communicating this valuable information to the people who need it and can use it the most? So we have that. We also have network. I'm tapping all of my. If you know me and I've ever done business with you, get ready, because I'm coming to talk to you soon. I want you to be a part of this experience, and so it's really. If you can't tell, I'm super excited by just the prospect of everybody we've been able to get together so far.
And we've been able to already accomplish a lot in just a little bit. Like, this is our first show, but behind the scenes, we've been doing so much. So I think that also gives us the courage, because people see us. They see us doing what we're doing.
Right.
The feedback that you're getting from your friends that are also business owners is really what's motivating us to continue, because it's like people are seeing like, this is what we need, this is what we've been wanting. Everybody I told about it, they're super excited.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, what about this show? Why would small business owners tune into your show compared to all the other shows that are out there?
That's a great question. There's a lot of small business platforms out there that are helping people get to the bag for basically get your money up. Wait, that didn't come out right.
That's what we need to do.
To generate revenue, right? And so there's a bunch of different folks out there, right? The disconnect is, and this is what I found. I was sitting watching a very popular podcast, and they had my man 50 grand. Ricky Rose, talking about what he's done. And you know how he has the voice, and he's talking about, so I just bought 40 Wingstops. And I'm thinking like, dang, man, you bought 40 Wingstops. Like, I ain't got no 40.
I got Wingstop money.
Wingstop money. I can't buy no 40. How am I supposed to be like you? If, so he would give like great, nuggets that are our principle, and that you can use throughout any business
Right.
lifestyle. So you get that philosophy. But when it comes down to the nuts and bolts, it was really missing.
Yeah.
Right? And all of the major platforms are chasing after these major moguls and people who are doing this stuff. And so I'm thinking, what about the small businesses in the local level, right?
Yeah.
What about how are we connecting them? And that's one of the things that I really have found is going to be our niche, right? Our niche is going to be we're going to connect the local businesses and the local business information and everything that people that really need and can touch and build that community. And we're going to do that all across the nation.
Right.
Right? So instead of having one show with one mogul talking to the entire country, we want to have a Rooftop Talks NC, a Rooftop Talks VA, a Rooftop Talks SC. We want to be operate somewhat in the scale of like a radio station where they're in tune to what the business community needs, and we're putting out information and helping really break down the barriers of this information that is siloed in other places. So for the local entrepreneur, I don't want you keep watching Rick Ross and all of them, because don't stop, because we need, I watch this, we all need hope, right? But hope isn't going to get us to the next level, right?
Effort is.
Effort's going to get us to the next level. And in effort, you have to have strategic effort. It
Right.
can't just be, spinning your wheels. And how do you get the strategic effort? You got to have relationships. Well, how do you get relationships? You have to have a community that you can connect with. And so, once again, I'm bringing it back down to community. It's all about collaboration and
Bridging that gap.
bridging the gap. I want to help the small business owner who's right now, today, connect them and help them grow. And I also want to help the person that's the young girl or young boy or whoever is trying to start a business but is working that job and really doesn't know what steps to take in the order you're supposed to take them.
Right. It took me about a month to research how to get an LLC, and I
Yeah.
literally done it in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I think the information that we bring, exactly how to do it, where you should start, is very important. So we definitely want to scale. We definitely want to go to different, we want to be global. We want to be South Carolina, Virginia, New York, all of this.
She said global. That's why we have Kiana, because, whoa.
Yeah, and we have people watching internationally. So,
Yeah.
But I do want to ask you, since you are planning on scaling this to a major level, what obstacles do you foresee that is going to get in the way, or that we might have to go through? Because every project, anything that you're starting to scale is going to have obstacles. So, what do you foresee?
Yeah. Well, so the first part was, building a team of experts. And so that was the first hurdle, because I know nothing about social media management. I'm still on Facebook, so not knocking Facebook. I'm just saying, me and all my folks are on Facebook. I just I'm really getting into, upgrading my Instagram. I love TikTok.
And it's looking good.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Shout out to my daughter, Jocelyn. Appreciate you. So we've it's about just moving with the times, right? And so I think that's really the major obstacle. Is trying to take a generational deal and trying to get them to be able to move forward. I think that's really like the biggest issue with everything.
We have a plan, so I don't think those obstacles are going to be a problem at all.
Right.
When we get through it, we get through it.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be another learning experience. But Hamilton, thank you so much for taking the time out to be on your show.
Yes.
Letting us get to know who you are and what it is that you do.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for tuning into Rooftop Talks, and we'll see you next time.